Hello and welcome to this early afternoon taste challenge. I have two blended Scotch whiskies. They're both pretty famous. This is White Horse, introduced in 1890. Now it's got a date on here that's not correct. It says 1742, but that's tavern in Scotland, the White Horse Tavern. So that's what they're referring to. The actual Scotch, which is related to the tavern, got started in 1890. And they say Lagavulin is the heart of the Scotch. So they use Lagavulin as their single malt. And I've heard that that's a good one. Okay. Might have coloring added. Don't know. There's no age statement that I could find. They're showing the coach. And if you read the website, they talk about the coach and the horses and the road from Edinburgh to London. So you can read about that. They say it's about a 4-minute read. 3 years. There is an age statement. Sorry, folks. I started remembering that. That's why I looked in the back. Okay, we'll fix that right about now. Aged 3 years like Johnny Walker Red Label. Okay, so aged 3 years. So it's minimum. This was like, for this handle's like $30, $35. That star, you'll pay the same amount for Johnny Walker Red Label, give or take a few dollars. So yeah, it's the only place I've ever seen it in Louisiana. I don't see this around. I was glad to find it. People kept telling me about it. Like, what do you think of White Horse? I was like, I don't think anything of it. I can't get it. And then I saw it and I got it. And my friend David, he wanted a bottle and he loved it. He blew through his. But Herbie in India, hello. Cheers to you. Now here's the competitor. Really, this is the mainstay that's been going up against everything else. This is Chivas Regal 13, aged 13 years, selectively finished in American rye casks. This is the Manchester United edition bottle from 2019. This is the year it was introduced, this whiskey. And then that was just a limited, special edition bottle. And they went to the regular bottle they have now. They take a portion of the Scotch after they age it all together, all the different Scotch whiskeys, they age it all together for 13 years. Then they say on the website, they take a portion of it, age it in American rye casks for, they don't say how long. Then they put it back in this and they blend it and bottle it. Does it make a difference? Yes, it does. And that's why I've been able to tell it apart every time. Good afternoon to you. So here's the web page for White Horse. They talk about the heritage, interesting facts. They use the Isla whiskey. You can read all of it. They show a video about making a highball with a White Horse. The flavor profile. White Horse and sparkling apple juice. Dos Cavalinho. And then there's a quiz, and then go on to all their other brands. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's just one page. That's why I call it a web page, not a website, because they show all their other products in the Diageo Bar Academy. The Diageo Bar Academy is all about training for the bartender, and actually, you can register, and they have actual training events you can go to where you can get awards and everything. Okay. So that's that. I've already signed up. Chivas Extra 13. There's their current bottle, the predominantly blue bottle. The Scarborough World of Flavor. And you can read about that. And it's the same thing making cocktails, which is a big deal today. Why are they making cocktails? Which I don't drink cocktails, but I'm not opposed to them. Some people get this impression that I'm anti-cocktail. Like if you make highballs and other mixed drinks, that something's wrong with you. I never said that. I don't see anything wrong with it. I'll say I'm not interested in it. But If you like to do it, why not? Heck, why not do it? Okay, so this is the mainstay, Chivas versus everybody, and here's the competitor. Do I think I'll be able to tell them apart? Yeah. Um, because they're not going to taste the same. Now, what's the single malt? They have a distillery in Scotland called Strathisla, and that's what they use for this Chivas, Strathisla. Beautiful weather, no clouds, sunny, warming. I don't really need this. It's a little chilly with the breeze coming through, so I kept this pullover on, but it's kind of at that point where you could keep it on and you're a little warm, but if you take it off, you're a little chilly. It was like 48 degrees last night, which in the Celsius system, centigrade means it was a little chilly, even cold, but not really. All right, but the humidity was low, and that made it nice. Foil cap cover. That'll work. Yvonne Ray Aguiano says, cheers, lads. Cheers to you. Put that back there. Ooh, the bottle's getting low, but it'll last a while after this series is over. I see that the White Horse is lighter. It's like a little lighter gold. This is more amber, the Chivas. Now you're thinking, man, that's a major difference in the taste challenge, 3 years to 13 years. 13 years. And my answer to that would be, you're right. It is, and it shouldn't be a challenge, but you never know with these things. You just never know. Just trying to get that screen straight. So Chivas Brothers, that's a famous old company. They got probably dozens of different offerings if you go through each brand and then all their variants. Same thing with Diageo, but to my knowledge, now listen when I say to my knowledge, that's the only White Horse they have. But then I'll probably go to a store tomorrow and they'll have White Horse Extra Premium or something, with a metallic gold label instead of the yellow. Because I know they have a lot of variants these companies make that they don't put on their website for whatever reason. And I don't know the reason. Phil says, hello, Jay. Hello to you, Phil. All right. Here we go. All right. Sweet grain, honey top, white bread crust. The crust with the honey on the top. Smells pleasant, smells nice, smells enjoyable, smells all around good. Tried a cream ale today they were trying to make it taste like a king cake. Didn't really work, but the flavor of the ale was good from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I gave it a 90. It's nice. Nothing you'd want to be running down or go tell everybody about, but something to have. It was okay. And I don't remember paying much for it. I don't think the price was too high. This is sort of the same, but maybe with a little smoke. I don't know. So on aroma, honestly, I'm not detecting much difference. Sometimes it'd be like, as soon as you smell it, it's like, boom, smoke. There you go. It's not it can't be the Chivas 13 American Rye Cask Selection because it has no smokiness. So if you smell smoke on one, then boom, you got your answer. Can't be the other. Interesting. It has a little tweak to it, but I don't know what the tweak is. Is it that rye barrel or is it something else? Joe Cobb says, afternoon, Ron, I'm going to go out and buy some steak and a bottle of Hofbräu today. That sounds good. I had some steak a couple of weeks ago. I bought some prime ribeyes. Now, you know, that's so expensive these days. It's expensive in the old days, but it was the day before the sell-by date. They had to get rid of it. A meat department cannot sell meat past the sell-by. It's not a best by date. It's a sell-by. They have to discard it. So they had a half price. So instead of paying $35 for those two steaks, I paid 15 something, 15, half of 31, 15.50. About, that's estimating because it wasn't quite that. It's like 15.69. But oh man, those were awesome, That was the most tender steak ever. You can't usually buy prime in a grocery store. Normally, they were even talking about that at the store. Normally, this is reserved for restaurant only. So I don't know how they got a hold of them, but half of them didn't sell because I guess a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'd love that, but I ain't paying that." Usually, the best steak a store can get is choice, which is very good. But prime is, so I don't know how they pulled that off. But anyway, it was great. And normally the steaks I buy is like chewing gum. They're kind of tough, but that flavor might be good. Okay, I usually buy a chuck roast and make barbecue. Barbacoa. Guess you meant barbecue. Steak is getting pricey in Canada, so I don't eat it often. I get that. Haven't had prime rib in a long time. Yeah, those prime ribeyes are yum, yum, yum. I have missed out on any rum challenges recently, says Kevin Johnston. No, but they're coming up. And in fact, the rum is going to be called Calypso Gold. Now, did Calypso silver, right? Or did I get it backwards? Well, I have to go look. I can't remember sometimes. But it's Calypso. Yes. Apparently, it's been around a long time, but I could never find the trademark date. Man, it's one of those rums that's been on the market for years, and it's like it's just there, and you don't pay any mind to it. But it might have been something your grandpa drank. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, but it's like never popular and it's never famous, but it's around, and some people know about it. So that's what I'm doing, Calypso, which has a label that has nothing to do with Calypso, but it's kind of funny. But oh well, we'll get to that later. So yeah, that's coming up. Yeah, grocery steak is fine, but does not compare to real butcher prime. Right. It can't because it's not prime. But this store got it. So hey, I recommend Don Q Cristal. Yes, I've reviewed that. I reviewed that on Mardi Gras Day a few years ago. Or was it Mardi Gras Sunday? I thought it was Mardi Gras Day, the actual day. But whatever, I got a great deal, boy, on those big handles, glass bottles, not plastic. Oh man, what a great silver rum introduced in 1978, by the way. Mr. R says, afternoon, how's the taste challenge been? It's been fine. I'm having a little trouble with it. Barbacoa is Mexican, like shredded beef for tacos. You just sear it and bake it in the oven with some stock and spices. Oh, yeah, that sounds like something I would like. Just a more economical way to eat beef living alone. Yeah, well, hey, I use the oven so much. People don't understand, They think everything has to be on a charcoal grill. It does. I mean, that's good. I won't hear any negatives from me on that. But you'd be amazed what you could get out of a toaster oven. Something so simple as that. It'd just be great if you're careful with it. I have a late night habit of making fondant potatoes. I love potatoes, and I've been making my own potato chips the last week. And they've been coming out great. And they're baked potato chips. All right. But they come out so crunchy and good. This is honey top white bread also. So this is a tough one. But this glass here in my right hand, I'm not tasting that tweak, that little. I never said it was harsh. I said it was sharp. There's like a sharp flavor, like a cut, cut, cut. And that's making me think it's the rye barrel selection cask, rye barrel treatment, cask treatment. It's hard to describe. You have to buy it and try it. But then I don't see anybody ever trying it because I don't think anybody's buying it because I don't think anybody's finding it, right? Like you can't review something if you can't get it. And I just stumbled across it. So green Bushmill label now. Green Bushmill label. Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Hey, but they're like every other whiskey company. They're coming out with something new every 6 months, and that's to get people to run and buy it. I mean, I cannot buy everything. I cannot. It's not going to happen. People ask me all the time, try this, try that, 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 try this, try that. I'm like, I cannot do that. Even if I had them all, what am I do? Make 20 videos a day? So I can't. It's not feasible. It's not a. It's a question of feasibility. All right. So it's just looking at the different beers I've got. Try the beer, give it a fair review, and then move to the next. Can't try them all. I see a lot, and I'm like, oh, look, oh, look. But no, but you can't. So you pick different ones. You just let it go. The other ones you don't get, you just let it go. Same thing with the whiskey and the Scotch. The bourbon whiskey, Scotch whiskey, the rum, the brandy. You say, oh, look at all this, look at all this, but you can't try it all. And you'll wear yourself out mentally, psychologically, financially. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you can't. It's no use doing that. It is not. It's a winless. You cannot win. It's a winless game. You cannot win that. It's a goal it cannot be achieved. So why even bother with it? And my answer is I'm not going to bother with it. Do you use steak sauce or just plain with seasoning? Well, I did it both ways. I had two steaks, right? Two prime ribeyes. So people were telling, do it this way or do it that way. And I said, well, how about I do it both ways? So the first one, I put the Louisiana Supreme steak seasoning on it. Not a lot, just enough, and let it soak for an hour or two. Then I put it in the oven, the toaster oven, bacon, and it got really hot. I flipped it. Then I put it on broil for a minute to a couple of minutes to give it that punch. And then, oh, it was perfect, And then, so the next one I did like the guy said, I put salt and pepper on. That was it. Salt, pepper on either side. Let it set for an hour, put it in there. It was good, but it was a little bland. So I used some steak sauce to garnish it after it was cooked. Now, with the first one, I didn't use steak sauce. It was so flavorful on its own with that Louisiana Supreme marinade from St. Martinville, Louisiana. So it's like you could do it both ways, but at the price point, I won't be experimenting too often. I understand. So true, says Phil. Yeah. So it's people got these sometimes these rigid ideas about cooking steak or any food. It's like you got to do it like this. It must be cooked at this, with this level of heat. It has to be cooked at this, medium rare. Or it's like no, it's not a dictatorship. This is not an authoritarian food. People's Republic of authoritarian food. Okay, just try different things and eat it the way you want. It's not going to always come out right. Sometimes it'll be a mistake, and it'll be, but man, some people are rigid and fanatical about it. Really, just fanatical about beer. Same thing with beer. Talk to people; they're fanatics. They're crazy. They're crazy. They're really crazy. It doesn't take long to figure it out. They'd be coming to you like, "Oh, I love your channel. Let's be Facebook friends. I have a channel too." It's like, oh, and they're nice, but then you realize, oh no, it's good. They're fanatical. It's like, are you sure that beer is a hobby or is it your religion? You start to think this is their religion, and so then you get intractable and you become intractable, just they have formed ideas. You cannot reason with them. And I don't try to. I just say, okay, got to get back to planet Earth now. It should be fun, not a sickness. All right. I'm getting this sharpness here. It's like little chips, like little tasting chirps. Yeah, like chirps, like chirp, 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 chirp. Yes, my friends still poke fun at me for drinking rum neat and for enjoying natural ice. Weird how much people care about what others enjoy. Yeah, I never could understand that. It's like you worried about what other people drink, but why? I mean, you could express an opinion like people get together and say, oh, someone asks you, what kind of rum do you like? And when, okay, like they might broach the topic. What kind of rum do you like and how do you like to drink it? Okay, so you asked me the question and now you ask me a second follow-up question, so I'll tell you the answer. Fine. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people that worry about what other people drink. Like they looking like, oh, that guy's drinking Bush beer. I thought he was an okay guy, but it's like what? What? Wait a minute. What did you say? Are they worried about your music? Like they run across the dance hall and you weren't even talking to them. You at the wedding reception. They run across the hall and jump into the conversation screaming, I hate the Grateful Dead. I hate the Grateful Dead. It's like nobody was talking to you. And secondly, even if we were, why you gotta announce that to everybody? Okay, all right, you vape, we get it, and you hate the Grateful Dead. Okay, but what is the point of what you're trying to say? But what they're trying to say is they hate that band and they insist that everyone else hate them also. And that could be applicable to beer, wine, politics. Oh, talk politics. Then you get the real Lulus show up. The internet is where the crazy people come to hang out. You know what I'm talking about? It's like where the schizophrenics come to hang out. And don't even bring up politics, Democrat, Republican. Then the real fanatics show up, the real maniacs. Okay, but it's a good thing in a way because it exposes the real maniacs. Somebody was telling me, she says, social media is bad, it's poison. I said, no, social media is not bad. It exposes bad people who are psychopathic and are fanatics or unreasonable or warped. And that's what it does. It's don't say it's social media because your daughter lacks any sort of discernment and self-control and doesn't know how to deal with people. No, blame her because she does that in real life. She doesn't do that just on social media. Social media like exemplifies that it exemplifies that character trait. So you have to be careful. And have I always been careful? No. But like Jefferson Starship said, I wish I could go back in time and do things over again. All right. Oh boy, people really hate my far right politics, so I don't even engage anymore, says Kevin Johnson. But it doesn't matter, far right, far left, middle left, center. But it doesn't matter because these people, they got to have everything their way. They're like little totalitarians. They're like apprentice dictators. That's what they are. They're apprentice dictators on social media. If I was to say this whiskey had a smoky character, I would be incorrect. It does not have a smoky character. Now, Buchanan's, yes, undeniably. Johnny Walker Red Label, undeniable. Johnny Walker Double Black, undeniable. Johnny Walker Gold Label Reserve, it's a little bit, but it's not really too much of that. But it's there, but it's not much. It's mostly honey, a character of honey. This does not. So I don't know what Lagavulin supposed to have. I haven't dealt with Lagavulin, so I don't know. You might be watching and say, "Oh yeah, let me tell you all about Lagavulin." Okay, fine. So what I'm seeing Lagavulin bring into this is like a honey savory characteristic, because that's where the flavor is going to come from. The grain whiskeys, which is probably 80% of it, they'll bring in body, mouthfeel, and all of these things. They're not going to really bring in flavor because the grain whiskeys are made to not have flavor. The flavor is supposed to come from the doggone single malts, and it could be 25 of them. Now, I know they're aged at least 3 years, so they put them in wood. They put the grain spirits, the grain whiskey in wood, let it age 3 years, and it's going to have some, minimal wood character because those barrels might be from 1971, and well used, or I'm sorry, seasoned. But you know what I'm saying. That's the thing about the American blended whiskeys, because they don't have to age the grain spirits. The grain alcohol can be put right in the bottle. And you say, oh, woof. So if they're not exposed to wood, they don't pick up any of that character. So it's just like, you say, why does this taste like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol? Well, of course, you couldn't drink that you'd be killed. It's wood alcohol. But, well, the reason it tastes like pure ethanol, because that's what it is. Pure ethanol watered down to 40%, 80 proof. And that's why they're $6.99 a bottle. All right, anyway. Phil says maybe the next challenge will be Talisker Storm versus Ardbeg. Well, I don't have any Talisker, all right, but I would be open to buying it. All right. But look, I got so many single malts lined up. All right. I got the 10-year Highland. I got the bourbon barrel. I got the sherry cask, bourbon cask, bourbon barrel, sherry cask. And I got the, what is it? Rum cask. So I got 4 more single malts to get through before any new purchases are made. I'm not buying a bunch of single malts so I can have a museum of single malts. I already got a bourbon museum, and it's pathetic as it is. I was looking at that this morning. I said, when are these going to get open? It's like, I'm talking about what other people need to do, and I look like I need to talk to myself for what I need to do, because and I'm criticizing fanaticism. And I'm looking at the shelf, and I'm like, that could perhaps qualify for that terminology, fanaticism. And then I was trying to buy another straight bourbon the other day, but they were out. They had the big bottles, but I didn't want the big bottle. They were out. I said, the sickness I criticize is the sickness from which I suffer. But it's fun though. But help me. Okay. But as a comedian, in all seriousness, I think this is the Chivas, and I'm unanimous in that. It is. I got it right. Ooh, I was sweating it out a little bit, but not too much. But all right. So, what have we determined in these long, drawn-out tastes? But I think they have to be long and drawn out because you got to really think about it. If you're rushing through it, I don't know why you're in a rush. I see people doing these taste challenges in a rush. First of all, they don't even do it blind. They're looking at it. I don't know what that's showing. And then they're in a rush. Like, why are you in a rush? But anyway, Chivas Regal, 13-year aged extra Rye Cask, American Rye Cask Selection. That's a long name, huh? But that's what they call it on their own website. That's a long name. It is unique. I've never tasted a Scotch like this. I can't say it's clearly not the best one I've had, but it's unique. And if you want to try something that doesn't taste like other things, here's one to try. Only problem is it ain't looking good for finding it. All right, White Horse. Well, in Louisiana, it's pretty rare. Like I said, I've seen it at one store in my life, and I'm so glad I bought it. Oh, so very glad that I bought it. But apparently, up in like other places like New York City and Chicago or whatever, it's really common. Okay, like it's normal. Like everybody sells it. But around here, no, 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 no. So to stumble across it was just a amazing event. All right. So what's coming up next? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, let's see. Anybody? Well, I don't want to show you. You say I don't want to see that. Just wait till the channel. Okay. If you want to see, I'll show you. If not, forget it. We'll count down. I'll show you if you want to see it going once. I'll show you if you want to see it going twice. I'll show you if you want to see it. Okay. Well, we'll just wait till the next time, and it'll be up there. It's lined up on the counter. It'll be another exciting taste challenge, and then it after we finish with Scotch whiskey in a few days. Oh boy, it's on to brandy. It's on to brandy. And so we're going to check that out. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.